Hi, my name is Jeff H. Sipe, and I have over 10 years of recruiting experience, including 5 years at Google. This week, I want to do a follow up to my video last week, and so it's the second segment of how do I get hired at a tech company. So, last week's video, we really focused on the practical component, which was how to network to get into a tech company. And this week, I really want to focus more on some higher level concepts that you may want to consider if working in tech is absolutely a dream for you. And today, I'm going to try and keep it real and go really down to the very, very basic level. And there's a strong importance in each of these items. If you are really interested in landing your dream job, it's going to be critical that you follow all these steps. The first four are very kind of high level before you get the opportunity at a tech company, and the last five are talking a little bit more about the steps and items to consider if you do get the interview at a tech company. If you like my content, please like. If you have any comments, please comment below. And if you like my overall content, please subscribe. Item one, effort. This is not a cookie cutter item. If you were to stop the video right now, I have delivered value. Your effort is going to be directly correlated to your success. No effort, no job in tech. If you are not willing to build the skills in order to get the job, if you are not willing to work on and customize your resume, if you're not willing to network like crazy, and if you're not willing to prepare and practice like you have never prepared and practiced for an interview before, it's likely not going to happen. And in the 5 years that I spent at Google, I can tell you these were the three most typical LinkedIn messages I received for people wanting to join the organization. One, Jeff, any openings at Google? Two, Jeff, can you get me a job at Google? Three, I attached my resume. Find me a job at Google. I received messages like this every single day for 5 years. And what it demonstrated was people's willingness to put forth the effort is directly correlated to their success and their ability to work in tech. I just want you to be giving it everything you got. And you're taking the right step by watching videos on how to get into these tech companies. So you need to really kind of thank yourself, congratulate yourself for taking a valuable first step. Item two, skill alignment. So obviously, just like any company, these companies are hiring people with specific skills, but it doesn't have to be engineering. Obviously, a degree in computer science is always going to help you in tech, but to get hired into any role, you have to be skill aligned, and it doesn't have to be a 100% match. What I mean by that is, as you look at the preferred qualifications, you don't need to have all those preferred qualifications. If the experience says 5 years minimum, hey, if you have 3 to 4 years, go for it. It's close enough. It doesn't have to exactly align. And if you are going to apply or try and network for jobs where you have 0% skill alignment, it's just not going to happen. And I received a lot of applications that looked like this, and it's just, you're wasting your time. Don't even worry about the person on the other end whose time you're wasting. It's not a good effort. It's not going to be a good match. So to get that good job, be willing to take the online courses, be willing to take the other jobs, take the other steps in your career to make sure that you get that skill alignment, and that's going to really uptick your success level with these tech companies. Item three, resume. Oh, the dreaded concept of a resume. Resumes are not perfect. They do not need to look perfect. Just a couple of items to keep in mind. I want you to make sure that you are specifically catering your resume to the specific role or types of roles you want. Ideally, it is a specific role. And how you're doing that, it's all in a bulleted summary. So you're literally pulling in the requirements, the responsibilities, the qualifications that are in that job description that align with things that you know how to do that are in your background. And you're putting them right at the top. Make it super easy for that recruiter, for that hiring manager to want to reach out. And I know that this seems like a lot, but actually for each job, you're probably looking at like jobs or similar jobs. So you're just going to need to swap out 2 or 3 bullets per job, per resume. So it's not going to take you more than 3 to 5 minutes per job. That effort will directly correlate with success. And it's a great segue into item 4, which is applying versus networking. So for the vast majority of us, myself included, applying to these roles, it just won't cut it. And it is a purely numbers game, but it's a purely numbers game in terms of networking. So I'm going to pin up above the video that I did last week. Follow that strategy. I screen share on exactly the steps I want you to take. Because if we're just applying, we are not setting ourselves up for success to get hired at these tech companies. And so often I hear, I don't know anybody at these tech companies. Well, of course you don't. You have to network, you have to get to know them, and the model's really simple. Create that daily, weekly, monthly plan, have a plan, stick to it. And I want to kind of follow up on that video from last week. I reached out to 3 recruiting leads at Facebook with specifically catered messages to them. Guess what? 0 of them responded to me. And that's okay, because if this was my strategy, I'm not looking for 1 or 2 of 3 to respond to me. I'm looking for 1 in 50 to respond to me, 2 in 50 to respond to me. So create that plan and have a strong number of people you want to reach out to on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. It will yield success. So let's flip over. You've now got the interview at a major tech company, at a tech company. Congrats. I know how much effort and time it takes to get there. And so, item 5, prepare and practice. Yes, we have covered this item extensively. But so many people get to this stage and they get closer than most people will ever get, and they don't spend every minute, every second trying to get better to make sure that when they get into the interview or interviews, that they crush it and get the job. Step 1, get the information out of your brain. Open up a Google Doc and start writing down your stories. Think every detail, every nuance, everything that happened. Just get it all down, and think in bullets too. If you think and write it out in bullets, it's going to be very, very easy to edit. Going to be a lot harder to edit if you write it out in paragraph form or even sentence form. Secondly, get these frameworks down on paper. What is a framework? A framework is simply, what are the 3 to 5 most likely items that you're going to be doing in a job? So if you were a recruiter, you're going to be working with hiring managers, you're going to be sourcing candidates, and you're going to be working on collaborative team projects. Those are the 3 items you want to think about, all the steps you would take when working on those 3 items. Just write it down and edit, edit, edit. Step 2, practice. Obviously, I strongly recommend practicing with a professional. This is somebody who's been in the arena, worked at one of these companies, multiple of these companies, and really gets how these companies hire. But at a minimum, practice with family, friends, former, current colleagues, and repetition is going to be your best friend. So do it over and over and over again. And lastly, you have to make it easy for them. This is about the effort. Create the questions for them. Buy them pizza. Bribe them with a $20 bill. Whatever you need to do, set it up and schedule the meeting. Really take all the actions and efforts so that they just have to hop on, ask you the questions, and then see how you're answering. It will really, really help with your success. And lastly here, with preparation, I want you to ask yourself as you're going through this process, have I done everything? Have I really crafted and catered the perfect behavioral example? If not, go back and edit it. Do you know all your frameworks? Do you have mnemonics created for them? Could you spit all 3 or 4 or 5 out to them right now? If you can't, you have to go back and memorize them. Putting in this work is absolutely critical to your success. I talk to many prospective clients who are interviewing at the best companies in the world, Google, Amazon, Facebook, etc. And many of these prospective clients tell me that these companies are their dream job and then choose not to work with me. And that's okay. My services are not for everybody. But the question I always want you to be asking yourself, and the question I'm asking after I don't hear back from these prospective clients is it really their dream? Are they willing to invest their time, their money? Are they willing to put everything on the line to land the job? And this is why I spend so much time focused on practice, because we can't be great or exceptional at anything that we don't repeat, repeat, repeat. Item 6, research and build passion. So these are two pretty simple items. First, I want you to just kind of get into the weeds of the organization. Do your research, pass their website, get into videos, get into articles, really understand and get into that persona. Think like an actor who gets into character and stays in that character for 6 weeks while they're filming the movie. I want you to do the same. I want you to really get in the mode of understanding the organization, and that correlates directly with passion. If you are passionate about the company, passionate about the job, you will get it. If you're not, you won't. I interviewed at Facebook and Netflix while I was at Google, and I didn't get a job offer from either place, and I can tell you it was directly correlated to my lack of passion, which also correlated to my lack of research. I didn't get to know these organizations and figure out what success was going to look like. I didn't practice and I didn't prepare, and it led to no offer. Item 7, positivity and rounded edges. Major tech companies are looking for people who are positive, and the number one way to make sure you sound positive is to use positive words. Now, secondarily, the rounded edges, I just want you to think about the baby walking around the room taking its first steps, and the coffee table has those little bumpers to protect the baby. So I want you to translate this into the interview by just softening your tone, and that can be with words, but it can also just be how you look at people, how you look at relationships. So let's take the example of Bob, for instance. If you say, Bob didn't work well with others, so I needed to figure out how to work with his difficult personality, versus Bob had an opportunity to grow his communication skills, and it gave me an awesome opportunity to help him develop these skills. It has a totally different feel and experience for your interviewer. So just use those positive words and then soften the edges. Bob may not have been the perfect employee, but if you can shed a positive light on Bob, it's going to help you have fantastic success in your interview. Item 8, high-level skills. So I just wanted to touch on these items very briefly. If you Google how to get a job at a tech company or the skills tech companies are looking for, typically these three themes, these three items come up. Problem solving / critical thinking, collaboration, and leadership. So as you're preparing, keep these concepts in mind. Think, are these concepts coming out in my frameworks? Are they coming out in my behavioral answers? And then get a little bit more company specific. So Amazon, for example, customer obsessed. Google, focused on the user, etc. Just continue to reflect back on those thematic items that are going to connect with the specific job you're interviewing for. Item 9, luck. Let's tackle it. Nobody wants to discuss luck. By following 8 of these items, you will absolutely increase your chances for success, but you also need to be a little lucky. When networking, you need to catch the right person's attention on the right day. You need to find the right people to practice your interview skills with. You need to get the right interviewers combined with the right questions that you really connect with, that your answers are feeling good, your frameworks are feeling good. Anyone that's unwilling to tell you that luck played a little bit of a part in them getting hired at one of these companies is lacking self-awareness. The best candidate in the world has to get a little bit lucky, and I can tell you in my experience at getting hired at Google, I had multiple touch points where I got lucky and it influenced Google's decision to hire me not only as a contractor but as a full-time employee. I really hope this video helps. We've worked at the basic level. I think working at the foundational level is always the way that we're going to build up and achieve that great success. Good luck landing your dream job. I really hope this helps. Thanks.